Hey guys, it's DeAnna with mindbodymethods.com, and what I have for you today are a few quick tips about doing squats without hurting your knees. So here's the thing, if you are experiencing knee pain while you're doing squats, the reason is almost always due to poor form. So today I'm going to break it down for you very specifically, step by step, so that you will be able to do this move correctly without any knee pain. So we're going to start with our regular width squat, which is just our hip width. And the first thing we want to do is set up our feet. So we're going to look down at our feet right now, look down at your feet. And we want to make sure that they are parallel and the toes are pointed forward. So we're not going to be able to keep our knees in line or keep things bending in the right directions if our feet are not straight. So we want to do that first. There's step one. Step two, we want to shift the weight back into the heels. So you're going to imagine like if you were going to sit on a chair, like just on the edge of a chair that's behind you. So when you're coming down, you're aiming for this imaginary chair. So you kind of got to stick your butt out, right, to feel for the imaginary chair. So we're down and up, aiming for the chair, aim for the chair. Okay? So next up, when we're coming down here, notice that my feet, both feet, are still flat on the floor. So I'm not rolling into the toes. My heels are down, and my toes are just very lightly cupping the floor, but the weight is back in the heels. That's really important. And then the next thing, as we're coming down, you want to make sure that your knees and your thighs are the same distance apart at the bottom as they are at the top. So nothing really changes on the way down, on the way up. Knees and thighs are the same distance apart. So here's a few things that we don't want to see. I'm going to turn this way a little bit so you can see better. So when we come down, we want to make sure none of this. No rolling into the toes. My heels are up. This is tucked in. This puts a ton of strain on the knees. And now we're using our quads instead of our glutes and our hamstrings. So notice the difference. Okay, so no. Yes. All right. A couple other things we don't want to see is this. Knock knees. Really tough on the knees here. We want to make sure, again, that they stay the same distance apart as the feet on the way down. The other thing we really don't want to see is that. We're not Fred Flintstone, okay? But if the knees are turning out like that, it's almost always because the feet have come at a square. So as long as you keep your feet straight, then the knees will naturally hinge back in the right direction. Okay, so that is our close squat. Now when we look at our wider squat, I'm going to step out a little bit. I want to turn the feet roughly, maybe 45 degrees, probably not more than that. But when we come down, we want to make sure that the knees are over the ankles. So you might need to do a little experimentation there to see where that is. But it's very important. So when we're coming down, knees are directly over the ankles. And on this one, we're not sticking our butt out at all. So we're drawing the belly button in. And we want to keep our back really flat, like we're sliding right down a wall. Or imagine like if you were riding an elevator, you just right straight down, straight up. Or a genie coming out of a bottle. Here's the thing. To figure out the distance, you want to make sure that the knees are able to come as wide as the ankles. So do this in front of the mirror. If you're coming down and you see anything that looks like this going on, super bad news, right? We want to keep the knees as wide as the ankles. But if you're not able to get them as wide as the ankles, that means that you have stepped out too far. Now on the other hand, if it looks like that, and the knees are coming all the way out over the toes, then your feet are too close together. So that's why I have to do a little experimenting, first rep or two, to find out where that wide foot position is going to be that's advantageous for our knees. Okay? And that's pretty much it. Weight is still in the heels, toes lightly cupping the floor, back is straight like we're sliding down a wall, just like that. Okay, so there you go. How to do squats without injuring your knees. And this is very important because we want to work out together for a long time. And we can't do that if our knees hurt, right? Visit me on the web, mindbodymethods.com. Hop on my email list. I send out great content all the time, and I can't wait to hear from you.